Hello everyone, thank you for joining us. It's exactly 10 a.m. and we're just going to start right about now. Couple opinions quickly. Do we really think it's possible to sell our organic product at a premium? Or you just feel that it's what they say is are willing to pay a premium, or you think it's just a marketing gimmick? Okay, let me see our comments. Remember to put it in the chat box if you are just joining us. Okay, Mr. Femi says there's always a market for every product. It's all about identifying your targeted customers, so it's possible to sell your organic products for a premium. Okay, I think I would agree with that. But then our teacher is here today, so to say, our guest is here today. He's going to be doing a lot of justice to that. But honestly speaking, there is a market for every product. Every product does have a market. Organic, you should be a millionaire, and so there's market for it, and today we'll be learning about that. So I would invite our country coordinator to take the welcome address before we go into the session.
Thank you everyone for joining, and this is a regular thing for NOAN and KCA every month, and we have come today to talk about marketing. In our last webinar, there was a vote, and the vote went for pesticides, organic pesticides. But in all honesty and fairness to everyone, we think that when we have encouraged people to start producing and people are already producing, my thinking is that we must deal with market, because for those so that market becomes imperative. So that is why I don't want to mention names, but someone has been of very tremendous assistance to us. So the person assisted us to get a speaker for today, a cave farmer, and it was tricky because we are not even sure that he will accept to speak to the farmers on this call. But eventually we succeeded, and thank God that he's here and even early. So I welcome you. Then this particular component of the activity is organized by Knowledge Center for Organic Agriculture in Africa. The Knowledge Center for Organic Agriculture in Africa is a project under Association of Organic Agriculture Practitioners of Nigeria. Association of Organic Agriculture Practitioners of Nigeria is the umbrella association for all the practitioners in Nigeria. Association of Organic Agriculture Practitioners of Nigeria is implementing two projects now. One is Knowledge Center for Organic Agriculture. The other one is Ecological Organic Agriculture Initiative. And with this, we are driving heavily to see if we can push the practice of organic agriculture in Nigeria to do about environmental. If we contaminate the water that goes into the Atlantic, it enters everywhere. If you contaminate the air, it does not have limits. That is why a drop of something that happened somewhere, we thought that it is China, within a short time, it got everywhere in the world, that everybody is closing his mouth. People were constrained not to come out. So it is important that we continue to drive this so that we manage the environment, manage our life, and be healthy. So today we want to talk about market, and I welcome you to listen. And most importantly, let us take advantage of it. If there are other people you think that can still participate, you send a link to them so that they will come in and participate and benefit from it. Sorry, I must acknowledge Okwe Farms here. I'm sorry, it's not my intention to offend anybody, but I must acknowledge her for the support she has given to this KCA team. And I welcome everybody to listen and benefit from this webinar. Thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are tuning in from. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Okay, so I'll just go straight into the profile of our speaker. Is here already. David is a third generation regenerative agriculturalist with 30 years of experience in agronomy, animal husbandry, food processing, storage, agricultural mechanization, and economics. He founded Farm Natural in 2007, an integrative organic farm spanning 100 acres in Arawa near Epe. A seasoned consultant and managing director, Olumide has set up multiple commercial farms and offers comprehensive farm management services. His agricultural journey began on his father's farm and he further honed his skills at the University of Agriculture in Makurdi. In advocacy for good governance and youth, an advocate for good governance and youth development, he has advised local governments and contributed to community projects like building the Lagos Island East Montessori School. Olumide's vision for Food Safe Africa drives his effort to educate the next generation of farmers, including establishing a primary school focused on agriculture. In his leisure time, he enjoys family activities, playing snooker, riding speed bikes, and collecting vintage cars. Olumide lives in Lagos, Nigeria, with his wife Maya David and their three children. We welcome you, Mr. Olumide, to the NOAN webinar, and we say over to you. Thank you for joining us, and over to you.
Thank you so much, everyone. I'm very glad to be here. I really want to also appreciate the president of the Organic Agricultural Practitioners of Nigeria, Dr. Jude. I really appreciate what the association is doing for us all and all the executive. I also want to appreciate a mentor, Mrs. Shoemimo, can everyone see my slide? I just need someone to confirm that you can see my slide.
Yes, I can.
Yes.
Thanks a lot. So I've been introduced.
Yes, we can see
Summarize that introduction. So I'm Olumide David. I'm a third generation farmer and I've been farming. This year makes it about 31 years that I've been doing my own farm. I started farming in 1993. I started with a poultry farm. I started raising broilers. And before 1993, I've been grumbling. I've been going to my father's farm grumbling. Every Saturday, the whole family must go to the farm. And he will tell us that his own father's farm, he goes there and they stay over at the farm and they come back after some days. In those days, the farm were really far away from their homes. So my grandfather had a cocoa farm in Mamu. The farm is still there, but I'm not just interested. They've told me, go and take over, but no, I'm not interested. And my dad as well, when he retired fully, finally from farming, so he was like, what's going to happen to this farm? I said, I'm not interested in the location. Just sell off your farm. And, because I've learned a lot from my grandfather's farm and farming approach and my father's farm and farming approach. So I didn't really want to have a farm in the locations where they have their farms. One thing I learned from them, is that I realized that your farm should be located where you have some measure of security. Because as the years go by, food is going to become a commodity that the value that food we have might even be more than cash. I'm telling you, the value that food we have will be more than cash. So people will rather rob for food before they rob for cash. Well, that's not what we're talking about today. So today we're looking into marketing organic products I'm going to be a little bit quick because I have only 35 minutes. So we are focusing on the size of the market that is willing to pay premium for organic products. And we are also looking at effective marketing strategy to reach the markets. And we are also looking at how we can overcome marketing challenges for organic products. Let me run out this survey quickly. Okay. A survey conducted by the International Federation of Organic Agriculture Movements in 2020 found that 71% of global consumers are willing to pay a premium for organic products. The highest willingness to pay a premium was found in North America, which is 81%, and Europe, which is 78%. The most popular organic products among consumers are fruits, vegetables, and then followed by dairy products and meats. Now that's the statistics that I just shared. But more of the things I'll be talking about today would rather be from my experience. So I want to look at the primary markets for organic products in Nigeria. So I'm a farmer in Nigeria. My experience is largely Nigeria. So the market for organic products is primarily divided into two in our context in Nigeria. Number one is the necessity-driven markets. And the second is knowledge-based markets. So talking about necessity-driven markets, these are active buyers that depend on the products for the sustenance of their health or sometimes for their survival. They have come to the point of understanding that there is no premium on anything that keeps you healthy. You know, we are talking about people that are ready to pay premium price. But this group of market, this necessity-driven market, they understand that there is no premium that you can place on anything that keeps you healthy. This market has the biggest proportion. They make up about 60% of the entire market. People in this category do not necessarily buy based on the measure of their purchasing power. They buy organic products as medicine. You know, when it comes to health, you know, when they recommend a doctor recommends medicine for a sick person, you know, when the doctor is saying you need to buy a medicine and the medicine is going to be expensive, the person is not so much interested in the price other than, number one, the availability of the medicine, and secondly, the effectiveness of that medicine. So these people, they eat organic food as though they are eating medicine. So let me go to the second group. And I could categorize them this way because I have footprints in the different agricultural value chain. So my farm is Farm Natural, and then I have a food distribution business that is called Eat Natural. So we do food distribution business, we export organic products, we sell within Nigeria. We are at the Admiralty Farmers Market in Lekki, Phase 1. We also do prepared meals, you know, everything from the farm. So we are big in, our base product is yams. So since our base product is yam, this is the largest products we have from the farm, or produce we have from the farm. We serve pounded yam, you know. So, and if we're talking about extracting value from, you know, the highest value from your produce, it's always very important that you do some level of processing, to get the maximum value. So with pounded yam, we get the highest value. I mean, if we're talking about getting highest value, I should have broken down, what a yam tuber is after we pound it, what we make, because we're talking about premium, selling at premium and selling to people that are ready to pay premium. So let me just go straight to this second group, knowledge-based markets. They are a market group that buy organic produce based off the knowledge they have about the benefits to their well-being. They also understand that their health is directly proportional to their wealth. So, and you have quite a number of people in this category. They buy because they know. And when we get to the challenges, we realize that one of the reasons why people don't pay premium for organic products is because they don't know the benefits. I scarcely take any drug. I always make sure that I eat rightly, and we all know that if you're a farmer, that farming is hard work. No matter the aspect of farming, it is hard work. Most farmers, they go to their farm and, you have to go around to see what's happening. While you're going around, you are taking a long walk. If you measure the distance you're covering, imagine someone, my farm is over 100 acres, and I have to walk to the different aspects of the farm to see what's going on and all that. So it's always a lot of work. And you expect that, okay, I need to take paracetamol or something, but I don't do that. Rather, I'll drink a lot of ginger tea, with canamperry inside and all that. And my wife is very good at mixing all those things. She knows the benefits of different produce. So most people that have knowledge about the benefits of organic produce, organic food, they are always ready to pay premium for them. There is another group of markets. So those ones, I didn't bother to categorize them. They are people that buy organic food just to satisfy their acquired taste bud. Organic food, as we know, they retain the original taste of the food, whereas GMO food that are aided by synthetic inputs, all those chemicals have a way of affecting the taste of the food. So there are a number of people that were born before companies like Monsanto and all that started, poisoning us. I mean, please don't mind me. I'm also an activist in a way. I am completely against bad food. I'm against food that can destroy people. I'm against food that is killing people. So like Monsanto that I mentioned, there are countries that have sued them, and they've won the case against them and all that. Some people just have agenda to just destroy people, and that's what it is. We don't need to hide anything. Some people just want to destroy people, So a lot of food that we eat have lost their original taste, and sometimes people just crave this taste. So we have people that they buy these organic products because of the reminiscent value they get from eating the products, the produce. So those are not major markets. They only buy it when they see it. So they are passive buyers, you know. Let's go straight to effective marketing strategy to reach the markets. So I say how to market Nigerian organic products. As we all know, marketing is not selling. So we are talking about marketing here. So we might not really talk about sales. Marketing is not selling. Marketing is building a brand in the mind of the prospects. Very important. We need to build. It's not enough to have a good product, but that product must have a good brand. So the process of building a good brand is marketing. Marketing. So marketing is building a brand in the mind of the prospect. Our conversation will be limited to marketing Nigerian organic products. For the purpose of homogeneity in our thoughts, it will be important to have some clear definitions of what organic products are. Organic foods are produced through farming practices that only use natural inputs and processes. And one of the challenges in producing organic food really is even accessing organic seeds. It's a big challenge. I'm not going to shy away from that. It's a very big challenge. But for the purpose of clear understanding, I will categorize I'll categorize the marketing approach into two. The first one is macro marketing. This is high-level marketing that depends on the facilitation of the association. This association of organic practitioners in Nigeria. We have, as an association, we have a lot to do in terms of marketing organic products. So it involves activities that authenticate Nigerian organic products. For example, we need to have a seed vault. We need to be involved in a seed vault management. Like I said, accessing helium seed is an issue. Everything in life starts from seeds. Everything starts from seed. You want to start a business, the seed of it is the idea. Everything starts from seed. So the authenticity of organic products depend on the seed quality. The assurance of the source of seed begins the right brand positioning for organic products. At my farm, at Farm Natural, we have a product that I don't think that we can ever meet the demand. It's a product that people book like a year before it's ready. And we don't meet the demand at all. I've tried and tried and tried. I've even tried to collaborate with other organic farmers, but I don't really see us meeting the demand. The only way we can meet the demand is when we begin to collaborate with a body like NOAN, and then they bring higher capacity into it. Let me go to another approach. Talking about macro marketing. And like I've said, macro marketing really largely has to do with a high-level marketing. So it really has to do with the association, really. Organic produce aggregation. We must agree that aggregating organic produce is a big challenge. It's another big challenge in Africa. International buyers that try to buy produce from me, they always get the excuse of we don't have enough. In fact, there's someone I'm supposed to respond to today. They've sent a list. Organic produce are produce that people, because I don't even know why we should really be talking about putting effort to market, because the produce is not enough. It's never enough, because the truth is you cannot really produce them on a mass production level. I have a very strong philosophy that I apply in my farming. I call it mass, raising mass producers as against raising mass production, as against doing mass production, because that's the argument I have with synthetic approach to farming. So they have said, I know in the industrial age, when they said, okay, with the growing population in the world, we should be able to feed the growing population. And then they introduced the industrial agriculture, and really industrial agriculture cannot really work without also aiding it chemically. So there is introduction of industrial agriculture, and then there is the introduction of also synthetic inputs. And they know that these chemicals they are hazardous, but then they feel, man, people must have food, people must survive. So they justify, the poisoning of people, because people must eat. And my own argument is, I understand people must eat. The population, we have a growing population. But my argument is, instead of doing mass production, why don't we raise mass producers? And this is my campaign. This has always been my campaign. And there are a lot that I'm putting in place and that I do around raising mass producers. So when we have mass producers, we'll be able to aggregate more food. But the body that can effectively aggregate organic produce is actually the association, because it's the association that knows the people that are really practicing natural agriculture, and it's the association that has the contacts, it's the association that knows, the association has, the data. So there has to be an aggregation system that is coordinated on an association level that guarantees assured sources of organic products. So the next thing is creating a brand label. The association could do labels or stamp that verifies Nigerian organic and naturally grown products. This will help with appropriate positioning. So once there is a label, an endorsement from the association, that every product from every organic or natural farm. Now, I use natural, I use organic. Again, the whole colonialism, like I've said, I'm an activist. The whole colonialism of somebody somewhere in Europe, has to be the one to endorse your whole natural farming efforts, because of particular reasons and all that. It doesn't cost anything to buy equipment, even, as my small farm has some few equipment, that tests things and all that. So we can position our association to a level where we also can have some level of endorsement. Somebody should help me here, sorry. So we can have some level of endorsement and positioning for organic produce from Nigeria. The truth is, everybody knows that Africa has got the most, in terms of size, we have the largest safe soil, You know, we have the largest soil. I know our soils are also contaminated. You know, I used to laugh at some people when they say, oh, if you want something that is very organic, that is very natural, get them from the villages. And especially, and most times they'll say, get them from the north. And I laugh because they don't know that when these chemicals come to Nigeria, the strategy of distribution is such that they distribute them to people that will not question it. So they go first to the villages. So, you know, and then there's another thing I'm advocating. I am advocating that, I mean, I've lived in the north for many years, farmed there and all that. I'm advocating that the most healthy soil is in the southern part of Nigeria, southwest, southern part of Nigeria, because we have more trees. So there is more forages. There is more, where you check the biodiversity of the soil in this region. I'm not saying every part of it, the ones that are not really altered, you know, by chemicals and all that. It's more balanced. It's more balanced. The soil ecology is more balanced than, you know, most of the soil, what you find in the soil in the northern region. They are heavily polluted. Well, I'm sorry for little digressions, but just to clarify the things that I talk about. So we need to position Nigerian organic or naturally grown products rightly and give it a strong brand. It was AI Riser said, positioning is not what you do to a product. Positioning is what you do to the minds of the prospects. You know, there must be a brand program that differentiates your cow from all other cattle on the range. Even if all the cattle on the range look pretty much alike, we have to have something that differentiates Nigerian organic product. It might be that NOAN stamp or something, you know. We must, on an association level, we must also be involved in product testing and certification, government endorsement and policy lobbying, export facilitation, continental, we must find way to get natural growers around Africa. You know, we must find ways to get them to interrelate and kind of share experiences and you know, trade in each other's produce. We must organize exhibitions and trade fairs, and then we must also organize products celebration. Sorry. We must organize products festivals and celebrations. We need to create buzz about particular produce, especially when they are in season. We need to celebrate our indigenous food and organic agro-allied products. You know, food is a major element of a culture. You know, on an association level, there must be something, there must be some festivity around organic produce, you know, maybe it could be, I mean, there could be different kind of festival we can organize, you know, and we can make it as big as, you know, later on, you know, maybe in the nearest future, people begin to travel in, to be something that people traveling to Nigeria to come and celebrate and buy, you know, organic produce, you know, and get maybe helium seeds and all that. You know, it could be something really big, you know. So there's a lot that can be done on association level in marketing and branding, you know, organic products. So let's go to the micro marketing. This is the marketing approach that the strategies are executed by the producers of the products. They are largely relational. They are largely relational strategies. Examples are, you know, a producer could build community of health-conscious consumers. So currently in Nigeria, organic food buyers are buying largely because of health benefits. So that's where the biggest market is. So it is very important that every producer should have their own community or have a way of joining, you know, being involved with health communities. You know, you could set up different kind of health community. You could set up, and you just a single producer can have multiple health communities. So you can have health community for diabetic patients. You can have for cancer patients. You can have for, because the truth is that there is no sickness in your body, in anybody's body, that cannot be healed by food. There is a particular food that enhances the wellness of an organ in the body. You know, we all know that cells, collection of cells is like the smallest unit, you know. So our cells in the body, they receive nutrients, and these nutrients, you know, make them, you know, when the cells come together, you know, I'm not a doctor or whatever, but I'm a farmer. I produce the food that keeps the body going. So a doctor needs to first listen to me. So collection of cells is tissue, collection of tissues is organ, you know. So the well-being of cells is the well-being of the body. So on a cellular level, there are food that keeps the cells healthy. And there are food that they are capable of destroying bad cells. So it's also very important that an organic farmer should have some level of food nutrition, you know, so that when you set up these health communities or health conscious consumer communities, you know, you can always, of course, everybody will be sharing knowledge, and you can always also share knowledge about what you are producing. And that's one very effective way to sell your produce at premium price, because I've said it before, this group of people, they don't think that there's any premium to anything that keeps you healthy, and that's the truth. So and it's very important that you recognize who your target market is. They are number one target market. Packaging and labeling. Books are mostly judged by their covers, their look and their feel and the title. All those things, you find it on the cover, because people will say, don't judge a book by its cover. I mean, but the truth is that books are mostly judged by their covers, you know, how they look. Sometimes people judge the content of a book by the quality of the print. So it is important that we package, we make the packaging of our products, you know, justify the contents. So you want to package an organic product. It's good you package it with something that is almost natural. Something that is almost natural. The moi we serve at my healthy meal eatery is wrapped in the leaf. Moreover, the leaves just grow as grass on my farm. So it's wrapped in the leaf. So it gives a feel, the things we process or whatever, let's package it. We should find natural materials to package our products. Let everything look natural and organic. And then labeling, we need to label our products rightly, and we need to detail how in most cases how they are produced, just a succinct detail on how the processes involved in producing them, because some of those things are the things that gives people assurance and some confidence in the product, because there's a number of doubts about what's organic, what's not organic, what's grown naturally, what's not grown naturally. So we need to put effort in giving some details. I remember it was an international customer that was telling me that some things that I feel that they don't eat, maybe it's more of African. He said, actually, it's not much more about whether they eat them, whether it's part of their cuisine or not. It's largely about what's the nutrients, and also, what's the nutrients, and also how is it prepared. So it's very important we give some of those details, because some people maybe they don't eat it. It's not in their culture. Like I'd say, food is a major element of culture, but it might not be in their culture, but they need the nutrients that's in it. So they wouldn't mind if it's in their culture. We eat a lot of food, intercontinental foods and all that, foods that are not in our culture, because we know, and maybe because we like the taste or something. So when they know how to prepare it, when they know the nutrients, so some of those details, we need to put them in our labeling. I'm really running out of time. I think I have about 5 minutes. I'll just rush. So then having a unique product that represents your farm needs to be known for one unique product. They will call it your unique selling proposition. Every natural grower must have that. Let me just rush. Participation in farmers markets, so that you can interface with customers. I also participate at a farmers market in Ikoyi on number 17 McDowell, and the consumers, they want to know, oh, what's this? They want to ask questions. How is this produced and all that. So when you participate, once you can build confidence in the customers, they don't mind to pay premium. Create educational content about your products, get appropriate certification, have partnership with local restaurants to offer organic options. So we know that a lot of restaurants don't offer organic foods. So you could just have partnerships and let them be cooking organic options, and you'll be supplying the produce. And that's big in itself. It's big. Let me just rush. Organize farm tours to showcase, your natural farming processes and all that. You're just building the confidence. And then use social media. Let me just go straight to the marketing challenges. I'll just list them out. Yes, organic products have to be expensive, because the process is expensive. How much, I don't really know how much they sell some of those synthetic inputs, maybe herbicide or pesticide, but I know that, I don't know the price, but I know that relatively they are not as expensive as you getting garlic, getting oranges and squeezing out their the juice from the back, and then getting vinegar, natural vinegar, mixing this and say you are making pesticide, then that is really expensive, compared to just going to buy. I'm sure those chemicals are not more than 10,000 naira or thereabout, and you can spray them on maybe almost an acre, and, you doing all those, even neem oil, the process of extracting neem oil, the time, the gas you burn and all that, it's really expensive. And then there is so much practical weeding that you do. Labor is so high now. So there's no way organic products can be cheap. In our mechanization department, we try to make a weeding machine that uses solar, and we are still on the effectiveness of it. Yes, it's working and all that, but we want it to be really, really effective, because weeding costs so much in the whole process. It costs so much. Then one challenge also in marketing it is supply, scale. So in most cases, you can't supply enough. Then a major challenge is consumer inadequate knowledge and skepticism. Sorry, skepticism is an alphabet missing there. Inadequate knowledge and their skepticism is a major challenge. People don't know, people are not sure, they can't even differentiate. One of the challenge I do have is, you bring out your organic produce and then they begin to compare the size with the ones that have been pumped with some synthetic fertilizer. Largely you can't really have organic produce really growing so big and all that. Yes, they could be big, but not extra large. Sometimes you see some yams that are the size of a toddler, but for organic yam, you can't get that, the size of a toddler. You can't get that. And then you have a challenge with the supply chain transparency. Sometimes your distributors, in a bid to make more money, they begin to mix other, produce that are not naturally grown with yours that are naturally grown, just so that they can sell all at a premium. And people have knowledge, people will discover, they will know, and all that. So thank you very much. I hope I did not exceed my time. Yes, just about the time. Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity to speak, and thank you for your audience.
Thank you very much, sir. Please, if we have questions, let's put it in the chat box. In the meantime, I know he touched on certification. So I'm trying to see if Mr. Tope Lawal is on the call. He's in charge of certification in NOAN, but I can't seem to locate him. Okay, we have questions. Please, for your questions, you can use the emoji for raising hand. Raise your hand. I will come to that. But just before we let me see how many people have questions. I've seen one or two questions on the chat, and one of them is something relating to certification. So I can't pick Mr. Tope Lawal on the call, but Mr. Wole Gbadamosi is on the call, so I would invite him to quickly just talk for about 2-3 minutes on the certification process with NOAN. NOAN has certification, which, like he has already explained to us, if you have certifications on your labeling, it will help your business a whole lot. You're literally riding on the shoulders of other people. So Mr. Wole Gbadamosi, can you quickly just run us through the NOAN certification process in 2-3 minutes, and then we'll take our questions. Please, if we have more questions, let's put them in the chat box or raise our hand so that we can take the question. Mr. Wole, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, FCMA. I want to appreciate the presenter and the opportunity to be able to talk to us this morning. The certification process is something that is not very hard, except that a lot of people do not know that there is certification And certification is also another value addition for organic agriculture, because it is what really stamps what really gives value to whatever we call organic, unlike what we have where people just say put organic on things without it going through any standard or be certified by anybody. But at NOAN, we do a PGS certification, which is Participatory Guarantee System certification, which is one of the tiers of certification. It is not similar to what we have in third party, but rather it is participatory because it has element of both farmers, consumers, value chain, actors, and the government officials alike involved in the process for the certification. If for instance, if a farm or an organization is interested in getting their farm after production or during production, the certification is an annual thing, which I should also mention for us. It's something that we should do on a yearly basis. And what is the process? It is very simple. It's, for instance, if it is a standalone farm, it's basically to just request for certification from NOAN by sending invitation, sending a mail or contacting the secretariat or the certification committee that they would like their farm to be certified. From there, we'll give them the check. We'll send to them some materials, some checklists which they will fill and return back to the secretariat, which the committee will review. After reviewing that, the committee will look at that and set up a team which will come for inspection. But more importantly, because it is participatory guarantee system, it is also expected that within an area, group of farmers working together, particularly when it comes to a farmers group, should have a PGS officer within them such that they can be peer inspection. Each farm can inspect what other farms are doing to force guarantee the minimum level of guarantee to ascertain that what they are really doing is organic before requesting for a group certification, where a sample from the population will be inspected during the field visit. And after all the requirements have been met and field visit done, the committee will decide whether the farm is qualified to be certified organic or not. And it is a simple process, only that it's unfortunate that a lot of people, majority of actors in the association still till now do not want to go through the process, and it is not good. It is not good. It's as if we are doing ourselves. We are part of the people that is not making the advocacy and effort on organic agriculture to really yield the fruits that we needed. It was a simple process. Just contact the secretariat to give you the form checklist. You fill it, we revert, we come back to you as per what will be coming for the inspection. After inspection, we look at the things, we come back also. If there is need to take sample, we take. There is no need, we move on. Then we'll come back, do our meeting, and be able to say, does the farm qualify for certification? Does it not qualify? And after that, we can also have it listed, the qualified farm listed on our website, and the label also issued for them for use on their product. That is a simple process which I want to encourage all of us to embrace moving forward. Thank you very much.
Over to you. I'm not sure of your gender, so I would say maybe Mrs. Amede. I'm not sure of that. Either Mrs. or Mr. Amede. Over to you, please.
You're right. I'm female. So thank you very much. Good afternoon. Oh, good morning. We're still in the morning. Okay, good morning. And thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity. But one major point that he stressed, which I always preach, and anybody that knows me knows that I've been talking about that, is collaboration. What is being done to get more producers to produce organic food? What is being done to get more people to have access to organic seeds? So even if my dream was to go organic, I may not be able to because I can't access organic seeds. And everything starts from seeds. So it defeats the whole purpose of telling us about marketing because we ain't got nothing to market. There is nothing to market if I don't have the seeds to grow what to market. So I think we should think of solution to how we can get 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 people that are interested in moving this organic revolution forward to get their heads together and do that? That is my first question. My second question is, how much is certification? We've heard the process and how simple it is. How much does it cost, or is it free? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. Mr. Wole, is it free of charge? I know it's not free. So, Mr. Wole, can you please take, what's it called? Can you quickly address that?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. I was expecting it to come. I technically refused to say something as regard that. Certification isn't free, but certification is not, process is not expensive. It depends on a lot of things. It is not a profit-oriented venture, but rather a value addition thing for as a support, being a member of the network thing. So it varies. I cannot give you a fixed price for certification. I know it's basically based on logistics, the number of people coming, the transportation, means minimum refreshments and the like, and that is what it is. But for farmers group, it's explicitly stated in as part of outcome of our AGM that for a farmers group, certification will be 1,000 naira per farmer per year. That is for a farmers group. So if the farmers group, it's just 1,000 naira for one person in a group per year, alongside other things. That's you can see how cheap it looks and how cheap it is, and that is why it is participatory. Thank you.
So does this certification stand at par with the foreign organic certification? So in other words, can I use it on my label to sell on the international market? And will I be told to not to use that one, but to go get another one that is internationally recognized?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Thank you for that. So okay, Bryce,
My first question was not answered.
Sorry. I was just going to chip in something that could also help Mrs. Achingele. When you have the certification from NOAN, it becomes a low-hanging fruit when you need to take certification that is international. I have had 2 opportunities where international certifiers came to my farm. They just came on a fact finding. Oh, you say you're organic? Oh, could we go test your product? And that is one of the reasons why one must be completely ethical about this process. One of them took the turmeric, which I think it passed about 7 international standards. Another one took the ginger, which passed about 5 international standards. So the essence of that certification gives you the assurance that by the time you're asking for the international one, you are actually on a good footing. And from time to time, even our everyday customers, some of them, maybe they're already on stage 3, stage 4 cancer, and they start shopping. One of the first things they do is to take our produce to the laboratory to test. So it's a low-hanging fruit when you have the certification from NOAN. Thank you.
Thank you, Sisimi. Thank you.
All right, Ma, if I'm clear, your first question was on seed, right?
Yes, seed and collaboration.
Okay, as regards the seed, I know that NOAN is working on something. So at some point, I would invite our country coordinator, the NOAN president, to address that. But just a few questions, because I feel like when I call him to talk, he will just help us wrap up. So I also want us to take 1 or 2 questions. So some questions for K Farmer. One of the questions, someone was asking if you do trainings, if you train other like young or upcoming organic farmers. So please let know if you offer trainings. They can be provision for them to reach out to you outside of here to take your trainings. That's 1. 2, I'd like you to talk a bit more on pricing strategy. Not a bit more because I'm not sure we talked about it initially, but I'd like you to talk about pricing strategy and Also emphasize a little bit more on collaboration. I know somebody has raised the issue of collaboration. Talk about collaboration. Share with us your personal experience of some of the things you do to collaborate with other farmers and partner with maybe local farmers or local other vendors, because when people hear organic, they think it's just farming, but there are different niches to it. So you can also share some of those things that you do a bit more in detail. All right, over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. What I offer is apprenticeship. I could be quite pragmatic in my approach to doing things. I do not so much think that you attending maybe an agricultural seminar or, just one very short thing can make you a proper farmer. Farming is very, very professional, to say the fact. It's very professional. So, and it's effective. Like personally, most of the things I know about agriculture, I knew them based off experience, apprenticeship, practical, so it's like that. So what I offer is apprenticeship. Then and the apprenticeship is for 3 months. And the very day you start, you will start, by your next class, you will own your farm so that you can be practicalizing what you're doing. I have ways I know land could be issues, so there are parts of our land that we just kept aside for the purpose of leasing for apprenticeship. Then you asked about pricing, collaboration before pricing. Collaboration is the way out. In those days, the way farming, when they were really doing only natural practices, what they do is what we would describe as community farming. That's the way they produce food. So one person, the whole community will go to one person's farm and they will cultivate that farm. And then maybe the following day, they go to another person's farm. And all that person will give them is that it will provide the food that everyone will eat. So that collaboration makes the whole farm in the community cultivated. So you go to a community and you see massive cultivation. And they will say, look, that one belongs to this person. And you'll be imagining that with just this hoe and cutlass, how did you do this? It's collaboration. That's the power of collaboration. And collaboration has this exponential effects or results to it. One person can be chasing 1,000 and two, we chase 10,000, exponential. So that's the way it works. So we need to collaborate. The umbrella, the association umbrella must be a strong platform for collaboration that encourages collaboration. You said I should cite example on one way that I have a number of ways, a lot of ways, but let me cite one example. Professor Adara, one of my professors, gave me the red corn seed. That's our original seed. Our original seeds they are those colored red maize. And I was propagating it. It came to my farm. He was happy with me, what I did with it and all that. But I knew that for us to have enough of this thing, I need to go and give it to other organic farmers. I need to find a way. So I tried to also, make sure a few organic farmers that I know, they get those seeds. And, I've gotten some feedback from some people in terms of how it's doing and all that. And really, to say the truth, I personally am losing those seeds very fastly because I do not have a seed vault I do not have a seed vault. I put a lot of effort in keeping the potency of seeds, to the next season and all that. But there's a way a seed vault runs, and I've gone to NAGRAB. I've tried to talk with them. But I know on an association level, association can deal with NAGRAB on a level of, because that's the federal government institution that's supposed to, protect seed, do all that and all that. So, I mean, really, 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 we are in the hands of the association. Our success is largely based on the effort. So, and we also, as individual farmers, must try to strengthen the association, and our collaboration is the association, to say the truth, Talking about pricing, fixing the right price points for organic products actually starts from your cost of production, factoring your cost of production. You have done enough to even produce naturally. You have done enough. I always say that you cannot pay back the effort of a natural grower by the money you give the person. You cannot. Because really, the person's life is what they are doing. If somebody it's a natural grower, that's their life. They hardly have another life outside it, because your workers are fighting you. Everybody, you are an endangered species. Everybody is fighting you. Everything is fighting you. The climate is fighting you. So there's no premium anybody can pay for the effort you're putting in. So your price point starts from you factoring your cost of production. I mean, a lot of times workers will tell me that, oh, Oga, it's because you have the money. That's why you are wasting it. Instead of you to use so chemical, this is what we do. This is how we do. We do bush burning. I would say, no. When we clear the ground, we have to pack up. We have to go and make compost out of it. We have to, and they're like, what is this? What is this farming process that you're passing us through? This is not how it's done. They will fight you, So, and you're standing alone. So price point starts from you factoring your costs of production. And the second thing is you factor the cost that we keep that business going. Don't start from thinking about comparing your produce with what is in the market. That's not yours. You can't, and don't be afraid. You will sell it and sell it well. Like when we produce yams, and the yams, when new yam comes out, the price of yam drops and all that. Just watch. You that you produce naturally, yours is going to have a longer shelf life than those other ones. Those other ones, all those chemicals, their reaction continues, and the yam, begins to decay and all that, and yours is still there. And then when there's no yam in the market again, you sell sometimes we sell at 400% when yam is not in season. So price point, firstly, you factor your cost of production. You factor what it will cost you to run in the next season. Because overall, a lot of things, a lot of other factors affect our own cost of production. I mean, on the farm and all that, fall increase, all that, so you need to plan ahead, so the price you will sell in this season must match what you will need for the next season, in terms of the capital inputs for the next season. So those are the places where it starts from. Then your packaging will determine the value you can get. So you need to package rightly. We are still talking about price point. And then where are you selling? Don't sell organic products on a market day in a village. don't. Please, if that's the only marketing, the only market you have to sell your produce, just call me. I will come and buy everything. Don't sell, because they don't know the value at all in a village market. They don't know the value. So you cannot have the right price points. So there are a number of factors to consider in fixing the price point for your produce. I don't know if I answered the question, because I rather answered it more from a technical approach.
All right, thank you very much. I think you did justice to that. While you were talking, I remember something I had read one time that talked about 4 P's that you should pay attention to when you're setting pricing. And you did mention all of those P's, so it just made sense. I'll just reiterate that. That's people who know. I think the first one is products, process, people, and packaging. These are 4 things that you should always, that's the sum of what Mr. Olumide shared. These are the 4 things that you should always pay attention to when you're factoring in your pricing. I hope that helps. Okay, so do we have any other question? There was a question on the chat. Let me see if I can still figure it out. Let me see if I can figure it out. Okay, somebody asked if how the association is encouraging organic products in Nigeria, and practical approach to the farmers engaged in organic products in Nigeria. I'm not sure exactly what that person means, but I would say categorically that the essence of these webinars that we host is another way the association is helping organic farmers. That's where we always try to bring people that have the experience to attend the webinar. So it's always a good place to attend the webinars. Then we always post the replays on YouTube. So I would put the YouTube channel somewhere in the caption so that we can, in the description box, we can go there and, just go back and watch and listen again. I know one of the things Mr. Olumide said, which I'll just share, which, sometimes you might miss some of these points, maybe because everything's happening so fast. We talked about number 1, having unique product that represents the farm. 2, participating in farmers markets. I know that in KCA we have we do organic weekends. In EOA, they have organic farmers. If you're in Ibadan, for instance, they have the Ibadan Grow Organic that you can be a part of. In Lagos, there's one that Barrister Missy does. I think that's the one K Farmer and Barrister Shoemimo attends. So they are farmers markets. Attend organic farmers market. I think that thing is said about not selling your product on regular conventional market days is also a golden tip that we can also make sure that we are staying above or staying away, practicing really. Then creating educational content about your products. We've had several webinars where we talked about some of these things, right? Sasha Emimo is a big advocate for that. If you go on our Instagram page, for instance, you see her educating. Create a lot of educational content. Again, if you check on the YouTube channel, you'll find some videos and resources that can be helpful. Also on the KCA platform, multiplier platform, there are also resources. Then get appropriate certification. These are things that I just took a screenshot for when he was talking. So it's just a screenshot of the things he talked about. So I'm not speaking from anywhere, it's just from the things he mentioned, get appropriate certification. Mr. Wale has already shared with us on the NOAN certification process. It's easy, just commit yourself to it and you definitely have it. Then partner with local restaurants. I think at this point, I would like to ask Mr. Olumide if he has partnered with local restaurants to offer them organic options. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. Then the last will be organized farm tours to showcase organic farming practices. I like to see that this age of social media and technology, there are a lot of things you can do on your phone, from your smartphone. Open a YouTube channel, start to do a tour of your farm, take us through your farming processes. Do TikTok, do Facebook, do Instagram. Look for the perfect platform that works for you. You'll be amazed at what conversions you will get. This is part of the things that you can use. Then lastly, use your social media platforms. So over to you, Mr. Olumide. Do you have any experience with partnering with local restaurants? So I think that's one thing I have not It's not crossed my mind before, but can you
Okay.
please share on that?
Thank you. I don't really need to do that because I have healthy meal eatery, business. But again, like if you check Jackson's, well, they're not based in Nigeria. They are in South Africa. They sell healthy meals. I mean, they sell healthy foods in terms of healthy food produce, and then they have some shelves for organic produce. But within that space, they have restaurant. Now, in their restaurant, they try to sell just organic food. So that's an example of, and then people know, and people just go there for organic food. Now, if you want to partner with a restaurant, an existing restaurant, and to say, okay, I'm assuring you that I can always bring this particular produce so that you and all the condiments and everything you put in it to make sure that everything will be organic so that you can have a particular brand for organic food, and they will just add it to their menu. And I'm telling you, they'll even make more money from that, from that menu, because a lot of people, go around. In fact, I was forced to start that organic food eatery because many times I don't find a place to eat. So I just like, okay, this is a big need. Let me just start it. So people are looking for a place where they can eat safe food, really. So it should be, let's explore it. It's something that, you'll be shocked at the acceptance you're going to get. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So while I was saying that, I just remember that these days people always do parfaits and fruit salads and all of that. So you can look for organizations that already have that, partner with them and supply them as well. Okay, so I would like to invite our country coordinator, also NOAN president, to take the floor now and particularly address the issue of seed and maybe talk more on the efforts NOAN is making so that I don't look like I'm just being one-sided by talking only about the webinars, but I do know that NOAN is doing quite a lot. So I'd invite our country coordinator and our president to talk to us about address all of this. If we still have questions, we can drop them. If we still have questions, we can drop them. Over to you.
Wow. Olumide, I'm glad that you came. Hepzibah told me the effort that took place, with your dressing, people can imagine where you are. And in all those, you still made effort to address all this webinar. That is, two target things. One, great sense of patriotism, both to your country and actually to organic agriculture. Now, I am happy that our webinar is gaining this amount of traction. So now patriotism is not just for the country, but patriotism is for organic, because many people are now participating from outside Nigeria. I have to particularly recognize Lisette. Right from the first time Lisette participated in our webinar, she had continued to be part of us. She has even taken her turn in one of the monthly webinars. She's working on biofertilizer and the rest. Now, the Association of Organic Agriculture, I'll continue to say, we are coming from a difficult background and we're just taking up. And I continue to tell members that the success, the amount of success that this association achieved is based on the contribution of members. We are the one that will drive the association to destination where it can be. Honestly, jute is just, I don't know if it is fortunate or unfortunate, the driver's seat. And not long from now, jute must give way, and someone else will be at the driver's seat to continue to do this. But so I think that if we're able to put our resources, energy, thinking together, present it and drive it, I will continue to say that any good suggestion, any good intention that comes, jute will accept it, and we all will look for a way to drive it to give this organic agriculture practice in Nigeria and in the continent and all over the world a traction it needs. I'll address two things quickly. I'll address PGS. Now, the beauty of PGS is that PGS is actually introduced to service smallholder farmers that may not be able to pay for international certification process. But I want to state that the process of the integrity of the food, both for international and the one that passes through PGS, are the same. I want to state that there was that time some international organizations were fighting because the amount of the money they spent in certification cannot compare with little or almost nothing that the PGS participants do to get their own certification, and their products are receiving the same treatment, the same acceptability, because both of them are traceable and have high quality and not contaminated in any way. But what IFOAM does is that IFOAM came and stood in support of PGS, that PGS must be allowed to survive, with one caveat, and that caveat is the soul of organic agriculture, that PGS must be of highest integrity, of highest quality. Honestly, once there is any iota of contamination in PGS, everything about organic agriculture collapses. So I want to stand here to support what Okpefam Barrister Shoemimo said, that PGS is a starting point to achieving international certification. That is one. Two, some marketers, some export-oriented products will confirm that your product is organic, not necessarily through third party, but because if it is not organic, if it is conventional, you have almost 100% chance that it will fail international tests. So if it passes through PGS, there is that chance that it will pass international and you get your money. The only difference is that you may not necessarily get the premium price. That is one. Two, on African level, we are already working on continental trade, but I want to assure you that we are still working on certification for continental trade. And this certification on continental trade is based on PGS. It will not be expensive. It will not be expensive. And we are looking forward to what we call Bio-Africa trade, where we don't need to move to all those countries which Olumide is fighting. You are not the only one fighting them. We must not always go to that place to market your product, because when we have Bio-Africa trade, the Bio-Africa trade will happen in African soil, and all our products will be displayed and marketed in African soil. And those people that will normally carry our products to will come here to buy them. And whatever, and an additional thing that is important is that the certification that AFSA will give us, the certification process that AFSA will give us, we are looking forward to. When we want to export our products to their countries, we have to pass through their own certification. So it is important that when their products want to come into our country, they have to pass through our own certification and pay equally, because we are at the losing end in this business. And I'm one of the proponents that we must fight and get it, because it is our right. It is part of the colonialism which Olumide is talking about. Then I'll end with seed. We all know, and that is part of a new energy I'm getting, that Once our seed system is destroyed, we are destroyed. I'll repeat, once our seed system is destroyed, we have been destroyed, because whoever takes your seed takes your life. You can't plant, you can't grow, you can't do anything with regard to food production. You don't have seeds. And some people are fighting to take over our seed system. So this is one thing that NOAN has been doing for the past 1 year. It is challenging, it is not easy, but we'll continue to struggle with it. NOAN has gone to Nigerian Seed Certification Council to get licensed. I repeat, to get licensed, so that members of the association will be licensed to produce organic seed, so that we can safeguard our seed, one, sell our seed among ourselves, two, and make sure that we don't get contaminated with seeds that will make us to lose our seed integrity and our production system. That is what we are doing. It has been challenging because the process of carrying out things formally in Nigeria is always difficult, but we are undeterred and we are on track, and we believe that we'll achieve it. One of the things that we have done that have not yielded fruit is that we presented a questionnaire. We asked members to indicate interest to participate in, because we have to, this process of seed production is not an easy one. Number one, we have to recruit members that will participate in seed production process. That is one, because the producers will be marketers of seed. That is one. And with that, we'll be able to store our seeds. That is one. Secondly, we have to train them. We have to train them. Thirdly, we have to ensure integrity of these seeds. This is what we are doing. And I believe that maybe before the end of the year, it can yield fruit, and we'll move on from there. I want to start that those that are Nigerians that are interested in these our activities, honestly, all these contributions may not yield much fruit if we are not members of the association, because that is the only way we can work together to achieve our goal. So I call on I'm seeing a comment by Saeed. I want to read about it. There are some state chapters that carry out some of the grassroots activities. This is where the effectiveness of macro activities is felt. He's talking about call for collaboration. Okay. I'm not sure that we are doing anything officially about collaboration with members now, but I think from what Olumide have stated, it could be part of the things we'll look at, but it then means that we have to set up a strategy to start working on it. But in our social media platform, it has been there that people will ask for products that they need, and those that produce them will contact them, or people will start producing them. So I think part of what we'll do is we'll look for a process of establishing collaborative relationship among members so that we can achieve our aim. It hasn't been in our plan, and probably we'll start working on it. There is so little we can do at a time, but as new ideas come, we'll continue to work on them so that we'll see if we can achieve our target. Thank you very much. Those that are members, that are members of the association, we welcome you. We are glad that you attended. Those that are not members of the association, we are happy that you attended. And I repeat, one of the ways we can achieve our aim is to register our members and start to continue and participate officially. I can see people like Missy here. Missy, when I have issues that are associated with law and the rest, I will approach her, and she is always at our service. I think one of the things the association should look at is to have an association lawyer that will always deal with such things when we have them. Thank you very much for participating, everybody. Pamela, I'm happy that you are here. You have always been a good collaborator with us. Pamela is from Knowledge Center for Organic Agriculture in East Africa. We have been working together. Many participants are from East Africa, but others are from other parts of Africa and world. We welcome you. We thank you. We welcome you. We thank you. And we look forward to a greater event for the month of August. Thank you very much, and have a great part of the remaining and the month.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Can we ask that we please turn on our cameras and let's take a snapshot? Also, what do we say to Mr. Olumide? Thank you so much. Please, reactions with the reaction box. Give him hearts, give him claps, put this in the chat box. Thank you so much. Let's turn on our cameras so that we can have a quick group picture. But again, like I always say, remember that always make sure that you're well dressed. Make sure that you're camera friendly. That's key for all of us. Okay, so are we turning in our cameras? Let's turn on our cameras. Okay. Smile. So I want to believe that Mr. Olumide will be joining us in the association.